Hey, be sure to tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast. We have reports and events from around the island. We have Jenie's open boat preview for this week. We have new products from Quantum. We're going to tease those for you guys. And the big question is, where is all the bunker? All this and more in the fishing video forecast.
The ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
New Explore Series fish finders keep you locked on fish with unbeatable clarity, best-in-class imaging options, and a stunning ultra-bright HD screen. There's more to explore, only with Humminbird.
Today is July 10th, 2025. A few months ago, the team from the Fisherman fished out of Jensen Beach, Florida with the Quantum crew, field testing some new products to come in the future on a mix of southern species. Check out the full extended version of this video by visiting the link in the description below to see what Quantum has in store for Northeast anglers. In other news, bunker schools have noticeably thinned out around Long Island in recent weeks, leaving many anglers and charter captains scratching their heads. Once blanketing the bay's nearshore ocean fronts from Jones to Montauk, the adult menhaden have seemingly vanished, with only scattered pods being reported here and there. Some are blaming temperature shifts, predatory pressure, or offshore migration patterns, while others attribute it to out-of-state harvesting boats. Leave a comment below on what you think. Hey, we got a lot for you in the digital issue of the Fisherman magazine this week. I'm going to go over a preview with you. Starting off, we have the surf column, plug bag workhorses number 2, the bottle plug, our inshore column, docking primer for outboard operators, our freshwater column, crappies on the troll, and we also have a great recipe, Jenie's open boat tuna marinade. Now let's check out our upcoming events from around the island. Starting off, we have the Montauk Canyon Challenge. That's from July 11th through July 19th. Then on July 17th is a Town of Islip Public Freshwater Clinic. July 19th is the Richie Audio Fluke Tournament. Then on July 26th is the Bayshore Fish and Hunt Tournament, and we are at Bayshore Fish and Hunt. Let's check out some more details on that.
Hi all, I'm Dan Kroger from Bayshore Fish and Hunt. We're excited to announce our first annual Fluke Tournament on July 26th. Tournament starts 5:30 a.m. Weigh-in is at 5:30 p.m. here at our bait shop, 20 Ackerson Street, Bayshore, New York. We'll have live music on premises, food, beer, wine. Come down, support our shop, veteran-owned and operated. Stop down at the shop for all the details and to sign up.
Also on July 26th is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Take a Vet Fishing Day. And again, on July 26th is the Staten Island Pink Ribbon Fluke Tournament. Then on July 31st is another Town of Islip Public Freshwater Clinic as well. For all the details on these events, visit thefisherman.com/events.
At the edge of Long Island, where the ocean meets tradition, Montauk Anglers Club can be your boat's home and your gateway to legendary fishing. Whether you're a pro or just casting your first line, this is where memories are made. Join Montauk Anglers Club, where the catch of the day is just the beginning. Or go to montaukanglersclub.com for more information.
Jenie has an update on her open boat episode this week that will premiere on Sunday.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Today we are continuing with the Super Fluker Challenge by unveiling the third installment of catching your fluke, and we already did catching a fluke on a bucktail, catching a fluke on a teaser, but now, drum roll please, I am having you guys submit your fluke catches caught on live bait. And I'm also going to share with you guys my top 3 live baits that I like to use for fluke and how to get them. Starting off with the cult classic Killies. Now, of course, a lot of these baits are available at tackle shops, so support your local tackle shops if they carry live bait, but you can get them yourselves with Killies. You can catch them in little minnow traps. You can put in some little breadcrumbs. They love to eat breadcrumbs. They love their carbs, and it bulks them up for big fluke too. And of course, there's a cult classic picture of me when I was very little at the inlet with a big fluke that I caught. Not on the Barbie rod that I'm holding, but I did catch it on an old conventional where we were using killies to catch those big fish in a special hole at that spot that still stands to this day. So it's a very good spot when you have killies, and fluke just absolutely devour them. So that's one live bait that you can get a doormat fluke on. Bait number 2 is, sometimes I just prefer catching them before even using them for fluke, is spot. I love catching spot at my local little docks and piers, and I use a sabiki rig, and I bait the sabiki rig with the Fish Bites bloodworms, and you cut them into little tiny pieces to fit on those little tiny sabiki hooks, and you drop it down and you wait. And what I do is I cut my sabikis in half, so instead of playing with 6 hooks, I only have to deal with 3 because those fish will thrash around and that just causes a big mess. But catching those little fish on a sabiki and a light tackle rod and reel are so much fun. And if you catch spot, sometimes they can be like pretty big, like some guys use them for stripers and even tuna, so they do get big. You know, if you're using it for fluke and you get a fish on, that's a big fluke because they're swallowing that whole spot. So you could guarantee a doormat when you use spot for bait. And the last bait that I like to use, especially when I'm fluking off the beach, sand fleas, little tiny sand fleas. If you saw the video I did a couple weeks ago where I went fluking off the beach, the sand fleas were washing up. I had a fluke spit up a sand flea after I caught it, but they make a great live bait for fluking off the beach. I mean, obviously, you know the expression match the hatch, and that's one thing I recommend. When you're fluking on the beach, look at your surroundings, see what's being washed up, because most likely those fish are feeding on it, not just fluke, but resident stripers. They're feeding on the sand fleas. And then when you're off on the boats, cut open those fish that you just caught, look in their tummies and see what they've been eating too, so you can match the hatch for your next trip out. But just like the other 2 super fluker challenges, you're gonna take pictures of your catches, email them to me, and then, you know, let me know what you caught them on. If you didn't use a live bait I mentioned, maybe you're using live shrimp, let me know. As long as it's a legal live bait to use, let me know what it is. And hopefully, with this fluke bite heating up, you still have some months to go through. I hope to see some big fluke submissions. I have seen some big ones sent in from the bucktail and teaser categories, but now that we've opened up to the realm of live bait, I'm looking forward to seeing some doormats. So thank you guys. I will catch you on next week's open boat, and good luck fluking.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Let's get the latest on the Coastal Kayak Clash and our Dreamboat Challenge.
Dave's on vacation, so I'm filling in. It was a slower week in the Coastal Kayak Clash, but the few fish that hit the board made for big changes on the leaderboard. Newcomer Rotha Nog made his big debut with a category-leading tog at 21.25 inches. Dustin Stevens continued his dominance with a second-place porgy measuring at 16.5 inches. The top of the leaderboard now looks quite a bit different. Larry Newman now holds third place with 3 points. Tom Howard drops to second place with 6 points, and Dustin Stevens widens his lead to 9 total points. Hey kayakers, the Fisherman's Coastal Kayak Clash contest is back. Win this fully outfitted Hobie Mirage Lynx kayak from Yak Attack along with other great prizes. Catch and release as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. To enter, you must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine, fish from a kayak, and document your catch. Many chances to win great prizes, so get out there on the water now and fish hard. To be part of the action, you must be a subscriber and register at thefisherman.com. Now it's time for the Dreamboat update. We had an entry from Long Island subscriber John Rotondi of Brooklyn, New York, weighing in his porgy of 3 pounds at Bernie's Bait and Tackle, placing John in the top spot in the porgy category. So the leaderboard stands at a 3-way of 17 points each, with Jeffrey Harrison in third place, Thomas Luciano placing second, Still in first is Rashawn Williams, taking that top spot. Are you the best angler in the Northeast? Well, now is your chance to prove it. The Fisherman's Dreamboat Contest is back. Win this Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha along with these other great prizes. Fish hard and weigh in as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. What's the catch? You must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine. All it takes is one fish on the board to win a great prize. So however you fish, you have a shot. For all the details and official rules, visit thefisherman.com.
And in regards to the competitions, the Dreamboat and the Coastal Kayak Clash, please read all the rules carefully, fill out your forms completely, and make sure everything looks right before you submit them. Now it's time to go around the map. Starting off on the west end of the island, we have Andrew Biscardi. He sent in a really nice fluke, 27 inches, 8.3 pounds in the back bays on the west end of the island. He says he hopes he can get that double digit soon. You're not far off, Andrew. David Chakwi, he checked in again this week with a 23-inch fluke from the west end on a gulp and spearing combo. Mike also sent me a quick note. He said he wanted to thank us for his weekly video fishing forecast and specifically thank Rich for his tip that green was the color on the west end for fluke right now. He had two nice ones from the shore around the Jones Inlet area. He was actually clamming, stopped clamming and went fluke fishing, got the fish on a green gulp teaser, and ignored his pink bucktail is what he said. Aiden had a personal best 23-inch fluke caught just east of the Montauk Parkway drawbridge in Stone Creek. Then Edgar Gonzalez checked in. He said they had a bluefish blitz on the Meadowbrook Bridge the other night. Mateo, Sterling, Bradley, and Sammy all got in on the actions. They lost some gear, but they said it was worth it, all on diamond jigs. Moving on to the South Shore. Joey Rocco shows off a nice brace of fluke, 4 pounds 8 ounces and 5 pounds 6 ounces on his dad's Aquilina 2 charter boat out of Mauritius Bay Marina. 16-year-old Alex Wargle, he went into personal best fluke of 7.2 pounds while fishing the State Channel over by Capt aboard the jib. The impressive catch was made using a bucktail jig tipped with a 4-inch gulp in the white glow mullet color. Brian also sent in a 24-inch fluke. He said it was caught on the beginning of the incoming tide on a jig head with a 6-inch gulp grub in the Fire Island Inlet area. Aiden Noble checks in. He says he wanted to inform me that the triggerfish have arrived. He said the boat he was on had 6 total yesterday around the Fire Island area. They were hitting all day on squid and spearing, but he got his on a sand flea. This is also a brace of fluke over here last Wednesday on the incoming tide. About a 3-hour trip with 2 other anglers. They had 5 keepers total. Biggest fish were 5.5 and 6.5 pounds. That was for Frank Governal. On the east end of the island, Lisa Perez and her friends George, Arlen, and Joe caught this 48-inch huge striped bass on a live eel while fishing aboard the Montauk-based charter boat, the Trophy Hunter. That was on 4th of July. Fish was in the 40-pound range. Then Scott Snotland, he said, my daughter and I went out last week on the ebb tide out of Montauk. She caught her first bluefish ever. It was one of many caught on the trip. And most importantly, she caught her first striped bass ever. Nice job on that trip. And if you do happen to have an notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I will try and get it into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Our meteorologist, Rich Von Ohlen, has a fishing and weather report brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads-up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So right now it looks pretty good. Water temps have come up quite a bit, 70s in the ocean, some 60s in the sound, and fishing this past week. The fluke bite is the big game in town across the bay and the ocean. Herd anglers doing pretty well. We were out this week and had a lot of shorts, but also some decent keepers in the mix. Use the gulps, the bucktails, and the fluke strips working pretty well too. Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look pretty good on the map. There's some green there inland, but I think it's just kind of a mostly cloudy, humid weekend. There could be a passing shower maybe late Sunday, but I think overall very fishable. If you're going offshore, it should be pretty good as well. 1 to 2s, 2 to 4s does not look very rough this week, and a nice July weekend overall throughout the sound, the ocean, the east end looks pretty good. 70s, 80s, also not too hot, but it is going to be very humid again, so just be aware of that. Make sure you hydrate. Guru looks pretty good Friday, not much wind, light and variable southeast late in the day. Saturday looks good, east-southeast, maybe 5 to 10, not too bad. And Sunday, maybe a little more of a breeze in the afternoon, but overall, waves not too bad, weather not too bad. We'll give it 3 green checks for the weekend. Nice July weekend. The wind's not too terrible. Maybe some fog and haze and a little bit of shower action maybe later Sunday, but it's not a big deal, nothing widespread. You can check my forecast on Facebook and YouTube. It's called Weather Express. And also check those apps, of course, as we get closer to the weekend. So if you go out this weekend, have a great weekend and catch them up. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. Another spectacular week out here. Weather, everything else has been cooperating. The good news is the inshore tuna bite has finally kind of kicked in. So we had a couple of nice guys on a few days getting some nice small bluefin relatively close to Montauk. That being said, the offshore tuna bite is really kicking in and starting to get on fire. A lot of big eyes and some yellowfins being caught. In regards to other inshore fishing, striped bass fishing's kind of slowed down a bit. When I say that, I mean fishing's still really good, but it's not that steady pick of big fish. Just got to put in a little bit more time and still getting some nice quality fish over the rail. The fluke bite has also gotten better. We're seeing some consistent quality in the size and more consistency in the keepers. So that's a good sign. And again, sea bass, porgies, keeping you busy, keeping the rods bent. So this weekend starts the Montauk Canyon Challenge, so we're going to have some nice reports coming in from offshore, I think, over the next week. So everybody, weather's looking great for the weekend. Get on out there and get some fishing done. Until next time.
From Shinnecock Bay, we check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Hope you had a good 4th. I had a really good one. Got into a bluefin tuna. Got into a couple of them with buddies on 4th of July. We're about 40 to 50 miles out. We stopped at one spot, jigged a little bit. We had marks on the bottom. No luck with that. And then we started to troll, and we had a Wolfpack ahi bird chain, and this thing was in the water more than like 2 minutes. We got hit, got that fish in, landed it, and that was our under. Caught another fish like a half hour later after we got set up again. That was an under and went back, and just a lot of chatter on the radio, past some other boats that have been into them, and there was quite a few spots out there that have been getting them. So really cool. Fortunately, this wind and conditions that kind of came through kind of like killed that bite. So hopefully when they start to stack up again, we'll probably see some yellowfin. So we also have the fluke bite going on, and the bay has been pretty good in the ocean as well, in addition to sea bass when conditions are cooperating with that. And in terms of the bass, it's kind of funny. The morning of the tuna trip, I ran into Matt Perch and Cape Pizzarelli at 7-Eleven. They were heading out for a day of fishing, and as I was, they were going for bass and blues and fluke. And Kate got her personal best bass, and I haven't heard of a bass being caught in a while. And I haven't caught a bluefin tuna in quite a long time, so we were each other's good luck charms. So great fish, Kate. And that's about it. Looks like the weather's good this weekend, so get out there if you can and catch them up. We'll see what this full moon does. Who knows, maybe a couple of bass show up, and maybe those tuna will start setting up again not too far offshore. All right, back to you, Matt.
From Cow Harbor, we have Mark McCowan.
Hey, folks, as you know, the weather has just been really super tricky. We've got these cloudy days followed by really fast-moving thunderstorms, so you want to watch yourself if you're out on the boat, because the striped bass fishing is still doing really well. It's tricky. If you're on the beach, you really have to target at nighttime. I would definitely recommend trying some eels, slow-moving plugs, something that is like a live bait choice. On the boat, the striped bass are primarily deep, and they're coming up and they're chasing. Like this week, adult bunker moved into our area, and they were really on the adult bunker. These bigger fish, they're following the bunker pods around. There's a lot of fish also on the bay anchovies. So you're looking at the change of tide. They're pushing these fish up, and that's when your big top water plugs are doing fantastic. The fishing is just dynamite, but it can be super, super tricky in the middle of the tides. If you're having trouble, we've got plenty of really talented charter captains here. They can put you on like striped bass. If you're having a really hard time, you just want to go out and have a great time. But we've got bluefish. Bluefish are on the outside. We've got a lot of cocktails inside the bay right now, and they're chasing all the abundance of different baits that we have here. On the outside, if you want to go down and have a great time, find yourself a nice little drop-off where you've got moving out water, and you can catch as many short fluke as you want. These fluke is still sitting on the beach, coughing up sand eels, particularly down by the Nesquag River area, Crab Meadow, and that's a whole lot of fun. You can bring light gear, light bucktails with the teaser on the top, and just have a dynamite time. Again, it's all about fishing deep. If you're looking for these larger fluke, live spot is a fantastic option. We sell them at the store, and we sell a lot of live spot here. They're also dynamite for these bass. Of course, it's warmer, and the bite, you're going to see the bite window becomes shorter in these warmer periods, and that's when you really have to be prepared. They're still catching on the troll, but it's all about dropping down some live bait to these hungry striped bass. It's all about the porgies too. So many families and people are going out. The party boats and charter boats are really packed up with people. They love coming to the North Shore because we have such a strong porgy fishery. And the name of the game is going out and having yourself a great time. You can catch them from the beach. You can catch them from the boat. You can go out on one of our local party boats and get on the fish and just have a fantastic time. There's so much to do. I hope you do it because, again, this weather is really tricky. So beautiful days, get out and fish, because the next day sometimes it's not such a great opportunity to get out. And we've seen it every week, you know what I mean? But the fishing is dynamite. Bluefish on the inside, on the outside, like I said, porgy, fluke, striped bass. There's plenty to do. We also have a lot of spot moving in. So if you like a sweet tasting fish, the spot don't have to be the same porgy limit. You can catch them as well and eat them up and have a great fish fry. Until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
It's getting hot out there. It's got to be 90. But the good news is that it's also getting hot on the fluke round. So the fluke are starting to get caught on a more consistent basis, more keepers. We're seeing fluke up to 6, 7, 8 pounds. They're in the bay. They're out on some of those reefs. You do have to work for them, but every year you got to work for them, right? The sea bass, again, most of those sea bass here on the South Shore, you're going to run a little deeper to get the keeper. And you want to be jigging them, okay? The jigs seem to be working better. The other hot bite out there, really, what I'm hearing, is the tuna. So if you got a good day, good sea conditions, and you're ready for something like that, take a shot. There's a lot of blogs out there that will provide information where the kind of the latest bite is if you're not in a group with other people. But yeah, that is a good bite as well. Here on the South Shore, Captain V from All Pro. Let's get fishing.
With our flying freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Here I am in Alaska. This report is coming from Alaska. We were at Alaskan Adventures Lodge. I'll tell you, what a great experience. I can't tell you how many pike we caught. Most of them were under 30, but there were some that we got that were in the high 40s. It was incredible, and mostly on the fly rod. That's what we do. But I have to tell you, Anne-Marie, who was up here with her husband Rich, they joined our group. She actually had an amazing amount. She had a pike that was bigger than she is. That's how big this pike was. It's been great. And we caught sheepfish, we caught chum salmon, we caught all kinds of fish. It was great. I highly recommend it. Stop at the shop and I'll tell you all about it. Now, as far as Long Island, and the reports have been spotty for me because I don't have really good cell service here, is that, well, the bluefish are still hanging in the back bays and in the front. The stripers, it's a night game. Fish, any of you want. When you come back, I got a terrific pattern for eels. When you come back into the shop, I'll show you this pattern. It's really great. And you fish this fly for for stripers at night, and I guarantee it's going to be a killer. Freshwater, all the ponds are really doing well. Still getting a little weedy, but if you get out there with your little canoes or kayaks, it could be a lot of fun. Those bluegills and bass figure on early in the day, late in the day. That's the best time. As far as the trout scene, the Housatonic, the Farmington, the Catskills, they're all in great shape right now. I'm going to, don't sign up for my trip to the Housatonic, where we're going to go fish for smallmouth. So I will tell you all about this trip. Come into the shop or watch my emails. Tie lines, everybody.
From Tyalurs Tackle up in the Western Sound, the Rye area, we have Nuno Decosta.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Nuno here from Tyalurs. Another good week of fishing here in the Western Long Island Sound. Beautiful 4th of July weekend that we had weather-wise. A little warm, but hey, it's summer. On the striped bass front, if you head west, guys with the live bunker, like Bluefin Sound charters, are scoring very, very good. Double-digit count some days, sometimes even in the triple digits, which a lot of keepers in the mix, a lot of slot-sized fish in the mix there. But live bunker is key. While you're still getting some trolling your mojos and trolling your tubes, live bunker to the west seems to be key. If you want to head up to the east, such as the Triangle, you're going to do good on artificials. Your casting mojos or your heavier diamond jigs in that 5 to 6 ounce range, as the currents and the water a little deeper there, so the heavier diamond jigs seem to work best. As far as the local area for fluke fishing, absolutely a great improvement, as a lot more keeper size fluke are in the area, so guys are going home with dinner. Your fluke, your gulp, or your squid and spearing combos are your top producers out here. Porgy fishing has improved, especially the land-based guys that keep coming back, actually reporting good catches. An occasional sea trout out there and a short blackfish or out-of-season blackfish are still being caught at the local piers. Offshore, whole nother story. Bangers, bangers, bangers everywhere you go, guys. The offshore fishing is on fire. Inshore, in the South Shore of Long Island, off a block, lots of bluefin to be caught in all sizes. Right now, you're allowed one fish at the 27 to 72 inches. One fish for the recreational angler there. Different limits on the charter for hire guys. As far as the canyons go, bluefin out there also. Longfin, yellowfin, big eyes. Every kind of fin being caught out there in the canyons. Even swordfish reported, mahi reported. It's go time, guys. Take advantage of this weather and go. Items like the Cedar Flex from Sterling have been hot. These are standalone lures, or they could be stingers on your bars. These things are absolutely killer. 3 seasons now for us. We have caught on every single trip, as we were out recently, and about 8 different strikes on this lure in one way or another, guys. The Cedar Flex from Sterling has been hot. Anyway, guys, it's go time. Happy summer.
From the Long Island Outdoorsman, we have Robert Greco.
Hello, Fisherman readers. This is Robert from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's fishing report. Starting with the porgy bite. Porgy bite remains strong. Again, like I said last week, it's a great opportunity to get the family involved. They're plentiful, and it's a good way to bring some fish home, have a nice fish fry. We actually did that last week and had a great time with that. As far as the fluke report and sea bass, most of the party boats now are heading out to the ocean, hitting the reefs. Yeah, a nice keeper sea bass and some nice fluke at the reef is definitely on the table right now. As far as the tuna report goes, we were out on Sunday and we had a nice bluefin tuna, 44-inch, perfect slot size fish. We were trolling a Chatterlures side tracker in green on a 50 wide. These are kind of nice too. If you guys don't know about these, this is called a cushion. So instead of wearing a harness, they're just kind of handy. You can just grab it and throw it on there. For your smaller fish, that's really all you need. Those slot size fish, there's no need for a full harness. So we had a great week fishing, and back to you guys.
From the Western Sound, we have Andre Montgomery.
Thanks, Matt. Here we go once again at the Long Island Sound. Captain Andre for you. We're doing pretty good over here. And the thing is, we don't have to go that far. We're fishing from Execution Lighthouse to Throsneck Bridge to Stepping Stone. All the fish that you want to get. We're getting porgies, we're getting fluke, we're getting striper, we're getting bluefish. Everything is happening right here, right now. So you need to get here and get out there and get on them. The porgies that we're catching, this size. and that's a bucket full. We're using that 7 rig, and let me tell you guys, it's just phenomenal right now. Come on out and catch you some porgies. Back to you, Matt. Fishing for real.
From the west end of the island, we have Cal from Fishing the Atlantic.
Yep, here we are at the pier. It is the summertime and a great time to hit your local pier. You could do some fishing, catch some blowfish, some snappers, some bluefish, and other local species. Great for the family and the kids. And you know, right now isn't lights out fishing. It is the summertime. It gets really hot. The bait is moving around, the fish are moving around. So right now you do got to get creative. And a great thing about our Fishing Atlantic Fishing Club is that we have members that travel. They're fishing absolutely everywhere, so we're always getting intel, finding out. We had some members having some great success catching bluefin in the 30 fathoms area, as well as some nice big sea bass, knucklehead sea bass, some keeper fluke, and they did really well south of Montauk. So right now is the time to get creative, do some traveling, hit a party boat that's doing well. We have our party boats out of Sheepshead Bay still doing great. Gypsy's still on the fluke, catching a lot of fluke. So was the Ocean Eagle. And great news, we've got our first hubcap porgy in Jamaica Bay. Shout out to our member Dave. And he caught it on the 7 rig, which is a simple high-low rig. Excellent for porgies, sea bass, and your bottom fishing. You can just simply tie it onto your rig, and because you're fishing reefs or sticky bottoms and you lose your rigs, it's an easy way to just simply replace your rig, get right back to fishing. So yeah, right now is a great time to hit your local reef as well, and maybe you'll get lucky and catch a codfish, a triggerfish, and a sheep's head, and one of those elusive species. So get on out there and do some fishing, and back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Tim and Matt. Hope all is well. Well, guys, Mike sent you here from Anglers of Legend Sportfish, Boatworks, and Seafoods. It's been a while since I haven't reported. Been pretty tied up, not physically, but definitely with Boatworks and charters. Where do I start? Oh man, it's Wednesday. It's late in the evening. Bluefin tuna has been nothing but spectacular so far. Been getting a lot of school size. The biggest this year was around 47 inches, 48 inches. Eyeballing it pretty much. A lot of schoolies, like I said, and mixed bags of yellowfin have been caught on Sterling wide trackers, and their new product called the Cedar Flex and their Cedar Rain. It's a devastating topwater bar. It makes pretty much any pelagics definitely want to eat it. The ballyhoo bite, not so much materialize. These fish are, like I said, schoolie size. They're not really interested in ballyhoo. Number one, it's too big of a prey for them. Usually the mediums like the ballyhoo and the big eyes out in the deep, where you're going to get a lot of bluefin tuna right now, especially the giants out in the canyons. This time of year is where they tend to breed out in the slope sea. What else? The fluking has been spectacular, as you can see from the reports from charters like myself. I have not been fluking. I've been concentrating on bluefin and yellowfin tuna. And what else? Always, guys, make sure you always check your bilge pumps and don't leave them on running dry. A lot of these bilge pumps that I'm replacing suddenly are not working, and I asked the client, hey, when was the last time you heard this thing running? And they usually tell me, oh, I just ran it, last week for about 5 minutes just to make sure it was running. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. It clearly says on the bilge pumps, do not run dry. So very important, guys. If you're going to test your bilge pumps out, a quick button press, you hear it, boom, shut it off. With that said, stay tuned, guys. Got a few more charters coming up, hopefully this weekend if the weather cooperates. Raritan Bay Anglers Fluke Tournament, July 19th. Hopefully we'll bring home another trophy. And that's it for me. So tight line, guys. See you next week.
Hey, and just a reminder that Bayshore Fish and Hunt here in Bayshore, they're going to be having their big fluke tournament on July 26th. As you can see, they got a great venue for it, a lot of picnic tables, they're going to have live music, you're going to have food, beverages as well. The fluking is turning on too, so it should be a good turnout. There should be a lot of fish weighed in. Check these guys out for sign-ups. Talk to Dan for all the additional details. Join the tournament. Also, we will see you next week.